and I go ahead. But he was a sweetheart. He had this great big heart. And he watched out for every little brother here and baby. Didn't have any food, he brought him home. Didn't have a coat, he gave it. I said, if they still can apprehend white boys, boys that look European, they may not, but they look European. And they rape in broad daylight. And the judge said they're entitled to do 6 months for rape, but they only serve 3. And boys can walk in Bible studies and annihilate and get apprehended and given bulletproof vests in Burger King. No, there's 2 types of policing. I felt when I had to explain, I don't have to explain him. He's entitled to his due. When my family saw that image of Mar, when they saw him surrounded by all 12 officers, there was no compassion. But it was in their emails. We're animals.
Oh.
And executed. And don't say they murdered your baby. That's not what they do. That's too easy on their ears. They annihilate and execute. That's what they do. Don't use that term. It's too easy. That's what it's so easy.
They accustomed
so
to it.
Easy. Call it what they did to your baby. They annihilated him and they executed with no compassion. No compassion. I didn't know how, and I get that because we're at our last air, and you think I can't do another day of this without this kid's voice. And you, in that last resort, an odd thing happened for me because some of the brothers reached out from behind those bars, and they are entitled to their redemption. My baby did 8 years. And I struggled every 8 years of those days, only to spend 1 year with him, for him to come home in his own neighborhood and be annihilated, and I knew why. I knew why. They thought he was nothing and nobody, and he wasn't loved. And he didn't deserve to live. Until they are put into prison and jail, Chicago up to San Francisco. They upped us when they came to that baby boy in Chicago. They get that fear that guess what? It's more of us than it is of you. I have to piece his life together through other people. I wanted him to come home and become whole and strong, and he was on his way. I said you'll make your mistakes, but we fall down and we get back up. And whatever we have to go through, we're going to go through it. And I'm going to get you through there. And you know what it feels, and you know what it feels, and you, that we failed them. God, we failed them. We didn't protect them. You keep fighting for that kid. I want the clarification of what happened. They didn't throw that out of court for Mark. It just took 2 years for Mr. Burris and Mr. Pointer and DeWitt to fight for that 3rd video. It hit the ground that the city did not want to come out. For a federal judge to say that kid was, if the 1st and 2nd video couldn't tell you. We've been fighting 2 years. And then they tell us we have to walk right. I've been walking right all my life. What are you talking about? Can't say anything, can't do it because they watch it. They take our lives and they work against us. That deposition I went in was 7 hours straight. I went through everything from my mother and her terminal cancer to that shorts out in the house to the house in Houston to burying Mario's dad. To hear Gascon and the audacity, he so felt dogged out. Welcome to our world, because every day we're dogged out. My mom used to say there's going to be a point, you're either going to sink or swim. You got to swim for your life, baby girl. You got to, because your baby he's relying on you to tell his truth of who he was. Can I say this? Me and Ms. Wanda, we had discussed this. because there's so much pain. There should be a wailing wall for us, just like the one back in Israel, where the Jews gathered. And they're wailing for something. We're just wailing for justice. You bring every mother, every father, every sister, every brother. Give us a wall where we can go wail at. And it needs to be right across the street from whatever diplomatic politician it is. You need to hear our struggles, because we do it late at night. When you're fighting for your survival. When you're just struggling for anything. Wanda, please.
We can't make any promises, but we have the beginnings of some funding to think about doing this wailing wall.
And it's got to be that deep. You're going to moan and cry. Felicia, my love for you continuous. Fighting the last 2 years and finally getting the DOJ and to bring it back to San Francisco. Because if it stayed at the federal courts, what would happen is that now you bring in Marin County, Santa Rosa, and you get those people that the cops are their heroes. San Francisco, we know who they are and what they're about. And the racism, that was a win. When when Ork said that kid was not a threat, it was an overkill. Right. He looked like he was already hurt. He saw Mario's truth.
Amen. Amen.
It comes back into our ballpark. But until we change that police Bill of Rights, where they can't go back, they should go to prison. They're going to always continuously do this. There is no repercussion for what their behaviors. You high-five people after you. There's no repercussion. Derek's execution. Kenneth Hardy, the cop that executed him, went all the way up to Marin or Santa Rosa, or where it was, to be a pedophile. If you even think of Tamar Rice, if you would have looked at his records when he was hired, that baby would still be here. But it took for him to have to be annihilated, for you to realize he lied.
Right.
So I have to be a little bit mature. But I know my revolutionary moment. And I just kind of speak to someone and I said, I could make a revolution happen from these prisons, but I wouldn't do that. Because things is changing there. Felicia, I don't know if you heard, within those walls, juveniles that are now doing life and have already did 25 and 30 years. They're turning it over. That's what redemption should be, but it shouldn't be that. You shouldn't be judged as so harsh when you're so confused. Because again, honestly, a certain group, they can do all kind of knucklehead things. But I wanted to say to the coalition, thank you. Thank you. However you have to piece together your baby's life and pull it back together, fine, that's what I've been trying to do. How do I make it? I knew at some point Mario's going to be able to sit down and tell me the struggle, what he'd been through, but it happened before he came home. I told Mayor Ed Lee, he wasn't in and out of jail. He did one hard time from 16 to 24. Wow. That was harsh time. Yes, right.
Oh, wow.
That wasn't in and out the way they perpetrated it to be.
Oh, man.
Just keep your babies alive. Just keep them alive.